All right, picture this. A founder, 2 weeks to close. A customer asks for a big scope add-on, and the founder, heart-pounding, says yes because it felt easier than saying no. By month 3, they're delivering extra work at cost, margin sunk, relationship strained. I still see that scene play out, and it hurts. But what if, before that call, you had a short script in your pocket, a conservative concession ladder, and a few lines that keep the relationship intact and the margin healthy? That's what we're building today, the AI negotiation coach. Let's make it irresistible.
Pattern detected. Many small teams trade margin for ease because they lack quick, structured prep. The AI negotiation coach is a minimal, privacy-first system that captures a few essential signals: value anchors, BATNA, red lines, and timelines, then offers conservative suggestions. Clarity achieved. These are drafts, not decisions. Efficiency is inevitable when you have clear signals and decision rules before you speak.
Quick note, this isn't about fancy large models running everything. Deploying now means local prompts, small secure snippets, copy once templates, and latency eliminated with pre-baked responses. The point is speed and safety, not flash. Architecting the fix is straightforward if you keep the data flow minimal.
I love that. Let's streamline this so teams can actually use it. Remove the friction. One short prep form, a nightly debrief, and a simple scorecard. Systems never sleep, but they can be simple to run.
Before we dive in, quick roadmap. Nova will define signals and decision rules. I'll take us through a human-first prep playbook. Stryker will cover scrappy tech recipes. Pulse will close with a 7-day pilot you can run this week. Then, role play. Ready?
Let's start with the minimal signals. First, value anchors, what the customer values most about your offering. Second, BATNA, the best alternative to a negotiated agreement, yours and the customer's. Third, red lines, what you will not cross, including minimum margin or legal constraints. Fourth, timelines and runway, how soon decisions need to be made. Capture these 4, and your coach can generate context-aware drafts and escalation cues.
Can you give a quick example of a value anchor? Say a client says they need faster delivery, but your core differentiation is ongoing support and consultative onboarding.
Sure. Value anchor. We prioritize continuous onboarding and measurable ROI over one-off speed bumps. If that's recorded, the coach suggests responses that re-anchor the conversation to outcomes rather than timelines. It also flags if the ask contradicts your BATNA or red lines.
Nice. Okay, prep playbook time. I want 3 human-first scripts teams can actually use. First, empathy-led opening. Start with curiosity, not defense. For example, I hear how important speed is to you. Help me understand which step is causing the most pain so we can find the right fix. That reduces defensiveness and invites collaboration. This needs sparkle. Humans love this stuff.
Yes, empathy opens doors. Second tactic, the clarification ladder. Ask 2 clarifying questions before conceding. What's changed, and what measurable outcome do you need? It buys time and yields concrete asks you can trade against.
Third, the concession reframe. Instead of saying, "We can do that," say, "We can do that if we adjust X or extend Y." 3 fail-safe phrasings. We can explore that if we align on outcome X. We could add scope if we adjust timing or fee. And my favorite, I want this to work. Here's a 2-option path that preserves the relationship and protects our delivery. Those lines keep the conversation collaborative and negotiable.
From the tech side, those phrasings map neatly to templates. Copy once snippets that populate with the captured signals: value anchor, BATNA, red line. You can generate those phrases locally and present 3 variants: conservative, collaborative, and aspirational. That gives the negotiator quick options to pick from during the call or email.
Now, the core of safety. Decision rules. Define clear thresholds tied to margin bands and customer lifetime value. Example rule. If requested concession pushes margin below 15% for customers with CLV under 20K, require approval. If CLV over 50K, allow limited 5% concession with documented trade-offs. Also, escalate any language that implies long-term liability or regulatory impact to counsel immediately.
Let's make that concrete. Concession ladder Tier 1, micro-concessions, like faster check-ins or a one-off discount under 3% for any deal. Tier 2, small pricing adjustments, up to 7%, but require manager sign-off. Tier 3, anything larger or scope changes that affect SLA or liability needs legal and exec review.
Human-friendly. Tiny asks we can do without approval. Medium asks we document and get a sign-off. Big asks trigger counsel. The coach flags the tier based on your margin thresholds and CLV. Clarity achieved.
On the engineering end, implement those rules as simple policy checks in the coach. When a negotiator enters a proposed concession, run a quick calculation: projected margin after concession, CLV multiplier, and liability flag. If any threshold breaches, lock the approve path and surface who to ping. That keeps decisions human-led but policy-aware. That's architecting the fix.
Operationally, label owner's negotiator enters draft. Sales manager reviews medium concessions. Legal reviews high-risk items. Nightly debriefs capture what concessions were offered, why, and the relationship sentiment. That creates feedback loops and teaches your coach to suggest better options over time.
Now, the scrappy tech recipes. First, local side cue cards. Keep sensitive context off cloud models. Redact PII and run templates locally or in an approved private environment. Second, copy once reply snippets, stored securely and injected into your email client. Third, live note highlights, a tiny agent that extracts the negotiation trigger phrases from your call notes and suggests the next rebuttal in real time. Use safe API patterns, hash IDs, not raw IDs, redact names, and keep the models stateless about customers.
To add governance, log every prompt and response locally with an anonymized tag. Maintain an audit trail. Who used the suggestion, what was sent, and the outcome. That addresses accountability without over-centralizing sensitive text.
People worry they'll sound robotic. The coach should yield options, not scripts to recite. We teach the negotiator to pick a tone: warm, direct, or formal. The coach offers 3 tonal variants for each line. That keeps authenticity in the driver's seat, creativity unlocked.
Operational checklist for avoiding PII leaks. Require redaction templates before any note is sent to an external model. Prefer on-prem or private model endpoints, and where cloud is used, encrypt in transit and at rest. Nightly syncs should remove or archive sensitive content after review.
One more safety note. Always mark AI outputs as drafts in the UI. The coach suggests language and logs confidence levels. The human decides. That reduces over-reliance and enforces the human-in-the-loop pattern.
All right, pilot sprint. Day 0. Train the team on the 4 signals and the 3 script tactics. Day 1 to 3, apply the coach to 3 live negotiations, log outcomes, and use the nightly debrief. Day 4 to 6, refine templates and decision thresholds based on real results. Day 7, review scorecard and decide whether to expand or tighten rules. Owner roles: 1 pilot lead, a sales manager reviewer, and a legal checkpoint person.
Scorecard metrics to watch: win quality, did the deal align with value anchors, margin preserved, percentage of original margin retained, and relationship net sentiment. Did the client feel heard and respected? Keep it simple. 3 numbers you can track every night.
Add a compliance check metric: percent of negotiations that required counsel. If that percentage spikes, the coach's decision rules need tightening or the team needs more training.
Okay, let's role play. I'll be the founder on the call asking for a scope increase. Stryker, you run the live prompt in the background and give me 3 reply options. Nova, narrate the signals you see. Ready? I'll open. We really love your product, but to hit our launch timeline, we need you to add these 3 features within the same price.
Deploying now. Based on the captured signals, red line, no scope increase without compensated timeline or fee. Value anchor, customer values launch timing. BATNA, they could delay launch or find a niche vendor. 3 options coming up: conservative, collaborative, and aspirational.
Signal narration. Value anchor is speed. Red line is margin and scope creep. BATNA, possible but not confirmed. Timeline is urgent. Confidence, medium. Recommend concession ladder level. Offer a phased delivery with a fee or extended timeline, not free scope.
Option A, conservative. I want this to work. We can prioritize one of the features for launch and include the others in the next sprint for an additional fee. That keeps your launch date and preserves our delivery quality. Option B, collaborative. We can aim for all 3 if we extend the timeline by 2 weeks or adjust the fee by X%. Which of those would you prefer? Option C, aspirational. We can add the scope if we partner on a success metric and add a small contingency fee. If the feature delivers the agreed outcome, we'll roll the fee into future work.
I pick option B, conversational, gives them a choice. I say, we can aim for all 3 if we extend the timeline by 2 weeks or adjust the fee by 8%. Which do you prefer? And pause to listen. That simple choice keeps control and signals partnership.
And after the call, debrief. Who said yes to which option? Note which signals changed and log the outcome on the scorecard. If the client chooses the fee, great, margin preserved. If they choose timeline, update delivery and resource plans immediately.
3 immediate actions you can run this week. 1. Capture the 4 signals in a 1-page prep form and use it before any negotiation. 2. Create 3 canned reply variants for your top 5 negotiation scenarios and store them locally or in an approved snippet tool. 3. Run a 7-day pilot on 3 live negotiations and use a nightly debrief scorecard. Win quality, margin preserved, relationship sentiment.
Remember, position AI outputs as drafts, require human review, and define escalation thresholds for counsel. That's how you avoid risky automation and keep control.
Tech reminders, redact PII, prefer local or private endpoints where possible, and implement simple policy checks to auto-flag risky concessions. Precision wins. Small engineering steps have big safety returns.
Operational finish. Name the pilot owner. Schedule nightly 15-minute debriefs and commit to the 3 scorecard metrics. Let the process lead and iterate fast.
If you want the templates, the concession ladder examples, and our prompt packs, visit apexblue.com/negotiation coach. We put together the prep form, the snippet library, and a sample scorecard so you can run the 7-day sprint without guesswork. Stay smart, stay curious, and stay ahead.